Hey, what's going on, everyone? In this video, we're looking at the NASCAR Brickyard 400 picks for Sunday. Couple things before we start. First, thank you so much for getting this channel to 10,000 subscribers. It's been a great journey since I started this like 3+ years ago. So I appreciate everybody that's been watching and everybody that subscribes and likes the videos. Second thing is, happy July 4th. I am making this on the 3rd. Have some things planned tomorrow, so won't have time to get a video out. So wanted to get the NASCAR video out before tomorrow. So happy July 4th whenever you're watching this. And let's get some money. So before we get started, as always, I appreciate if you would hit the like on the video and subscribe. I love making these NASCAR videos because there are, I like do the same process every week, going through what drivers have success at this track, and more often than not, NASCAR is pretty predictable, except for the crashes. But drivers that tend to have success at a certain track tend to do well. So at this Brickyard 400, if you look back, there's been 3 races since 2017. If you want to look at the drivers that have the most top fives, it is Brad Keselowski with 2 top 5s. And one of the races he did not finish with an accident, so basically 2 for 2 for him. Can't finish top 5 if you're in a crash. Joey Logano also 2 top 5s. Clint Boyer 2 top 5s. Kevin Harvick with all 2 top 5s for him. He has all 3 top 10s for Kevin Harvick. So those are the top drivers I would say for this week. From the elite pool. If you want to sort by driver rating, you have Kevin Harvick well above everybody at 122. Nobody is even close to him. If you want to look more in depth at his recent success at this track, he had a win where he started at the pole and led 118 of the laps. That was in 2019 last year. The year before that, finished fourth, started second, finished sixth, started second the year before that. So he's been great, as you see. Going back to 2014, he has top 8 appearances. He has top 6 in every except one. Definitely loving Kevin Harvick. He has been the best driver this year. Other drivers that look great, Clint Boyer has had great success here at this track as well. He has 2 top 5s. Last year he started third, finished fifth. Year before that started eighth, finished fifth. Now he's starting in the 20s. I love Clint Boyer this week. So those are the main drivers I like a lot. And also, we wanted to talk about Brad Keselowski, just because his driver rating is a little bit lower than some of these guys, but that is because he had a crash in one of the recent races, and that just obviously brings your driver rating down by a lot. But he has been great as well at this track. He had an accident last year, but finished first and second the years before that. So Brad Keselowski also looks great. And then on Draftkings, once again, Christopher Bell is priced all the way up at 11-5. They are making it tough to decide if you want to play him or not. Personally, I still like Kevin Harvick more than Christopher Bell. The last time he was priced this high, he did finish fourth, and when he started 39th, or when he started 36th. But I don't know. I just feel a little bit more comfortable going with a guy that I am pretty sure is going to finish in the top 10. He is the best driver out of anybody at this track, and he has a great chance to win. So I'd still go with Kevin Harvick if I had to pick between him or Christopher Bell. Other drivers that I like a lot this week is definitely Brad Keselowski. I showed you his stats. He has been one of the best drivers at this track, minus the accident that he suffered last time out. He's also been a pretty good driver this year. It's been quite a few races since he's had a win back in end of May, but he's still been finishing in like the top 10 in most of these races, and I feel good about him at a pretty good price point. Starting ninth also gets you some place differential upside. I'm not that interested in Joey Logano. He's starting at the pole. Yes, you could play him, but I have a little bit more interest in going with some of the guys that are starting a little bit further back, or maybe instead of Joey Logano, I kind of like Clint Boyer. I showed you how well he's done at this track. He is starting 21 places down from Logano, and he has just been great here. 2 top 5s out of 3 races. He's led some laps as well. Logano's also done good too, so I would not fault you for playing him. He has a second place finish, 2 top 5s, but just with the upside, I would say Boyer gives you a little bit more with the place differential upside. Logano gives you that laps led upside, especially if he can lead a lot starting at the pole. Besides Boyer, I say Ryan Blaney looks good at starting 12th at 9,400. And then you have Eric Jones, who hopefully you guys went back to. Eric Jones on Sunday after that wreck that Reddick caused on the day before that Saturday. He was still popular and he did exactly what we hoped he would do on Saturday. On Sunday, finished third, started at 38. So it's another pretty good track. It's similar to the track at Pocono. Jones doesn't have a ton of success here. Yes, a decent amount of success. We look at his stuff. Actually pretty good success. He has won top 5 out of 3 races, 81 driver rating, average finish of 24th though, so we'll see. Also had 2 did not finishes, so that can also really crush your driver rating. He had 2 out of the last 3 races here he's crashed, so maybe you want to avoid him, but I don't think you can tell. That's just random for most of the drivers, except if you're Ricky Stenhouse, which means Ricky Stenhouse is going to go off this week. But yeah, I don't mind going with Eric Jones starting 23rd. I mean, he's too good to be that cheap and too good to be starting in the 20s at 8,100 with the upside that he presents, 8 top 10s on the year. Chance to add to that this weekend. I don't have interest in some of the drivers I don't have interest really in. I'll talk about them. I don't have interest in Jimmy Johnson starting 4th. Don't have interest in Alex Bowman or Kurt Busch or Almirola. Usually, if you're starting high and you're not one of the elite drivers, I don't really have interest. I would rather go with the elite drivers starting high that are starting like Harvick and Brad Keselowski starting a little bit further back, or go with the better drivers in the mid range that are starting in the 20s. Speaking of Ricky Stenhouse, he is starting 24th at 7,200. I think he looks good. He's always scary. He's always like a little bit of a tournament play, but we haven't had much opportunities this year where he started in the 20s. And when he has started in the 20s, he had a 4th place finish, a 13th place finish. He had a 2nd place finish. Usually starting like in the teens or in the top 10, which doesn't give him a ton of upside. But I think he can play him. He doesn't have a ton of success at this track, but doesn't really mean much if you're Ricky Stenhouse, you're 7,200 and just with the place differential upside alone, I think he is one of the better. I mean, I would play him over Almirola or Kurt Busch or Tyler Reddick. Going further down to some of the more drivers I have interest in, I think you could look at Chris Boucher if you want at 6,500, starting 20th. But I like Cole Custer, starting 30th, 6,300. He's definitely going to be one of the better value plays that allows you to pay up for Harvick or Keselowski or whoever you want to pay up for. But usually, if he's starting in the late 20s or 30s, he can give you at least like 10 place differential points, and I think good chance to do that once again. Don't have a ton of interest in Suarez at 6,100. I'd rather play like Ryan Preece, starting 36. He has a better car than Suarez. The 2 times that he started at the pole has been disaster for him. He's finished 39th and 25th. He also crashed last time. Again Pocono, but when he's starting in the 30s, he had a 20th place finish, 15th place finish, 24th, 26th, 26th. So usually he gives you at least a couple place differential points. Recently, he's been a lot more than that, minus the wreck that he had last week. And now that he's starting 36, I think Priest looks like a good value play. And I think that's pretty much it. I don't want to touch anybody else that's cheaper than Ryan Priest. Maybe Michael McDowell got off when we played him on Saturday. Didn't play him on Sunday. On Sunday, he started 13th, so I had no interest there. He got into an accident. But I think you could go back to him, especially if you make a bunch of lineups, have some interest there. So the cheap guys that I want this week are Ryan Priest, Cole Custer, Michael McDowell, in that order. And so Harvick and Boyer are the 2 drivers that I want a lot of. And then I will go back to Brad Keselowski starting 9th. I feel like he can have a very good top 5 finish. Potentially, he's only 9,800, cheaper than 10K is always good, especially if you have as much success as Keselowski does. Also, with 11 top 10s on the year, he looks great. Denny Hamlin is right, similar range. You could play him if you don't want to play Keselowski. But I like Harvick, Boyer, Keselowski, and then I'd probably go with maybe Ryan Preece, starting 36 at 5,800. I feel like he can give you at least like 10 place differential points upside and maybe finish in like 15th or 16th place and get you 20 place differential points, assuming he does not crash, obviously. Yeah, I feel good about these four. You got the two top drivers, you got two upside drivers with place differential upside, and Boyer also gives you that top 10 upside. So those are the DraftKings plays that I'm looking at for Sunday, and we'll jump over to Fanduel. Okay, Fanduel also has a nice tournament. They have a 555 with 100K up top for your Sunday. Forgot to mention at the start of the video, but for getting this channel to 10,000 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway on Twitter. It's at the DFS process. You can see it in the links in description. But I will be doing a giveaway. It will be centered around this race. I will be announcing the details of it Saturday, July 4th, tomorrow. So stay tuned for that if you want to have a chance to win some money. But back to the FanDuel picks. FanDuel has made it very, very easy. You want to play Christopher Bell. DraftKings priced him up. FanDuel has him where he usually always is. He's starting 35th at 8,400. The only thing that can ruin him is if he gets into an accident. But starting 35th at 8,400, there's nobody that has as much upside as he presents point per dollar wise. So Christopher Bell's the first guy that I want. And then I would go Kevin Harvick, 4,200. You have plenty of value. With Christopher Bell, you have more value with Priest, who's only 5,500. You have Cole Custer, 6,600. You even have Michael McDowell, 5,500. So those are like three value plays that I would mix in if you make a bunch of lineups. But I like Bell, I like Harvick, and then I love Alex Bowman. I mean, not Bowman. Clint Boyer, who's only 9,500, I believe. Yeah, 9,500 starting 22nd. That's a tremendous score right there for FanDuel. So that is it for the video. Hopefully you guys have a great July 4th weekend. Thank you for watching, and good luck Sunday.